Hi, welcome back to Wine with Ja. Oh, guys, how are you? Uh, I must say, for me, this season has been very, very interesting, to say the least. Um, so I felt like it was vital for me to address this as a checkpoint. So that's what tonight this is going to be called, checkpoint. By the end of this, you will realize that you may be in this checkpoint season, and here are some of the things that you might need to address or do or approach. The first thing is to be in a checkpoint season is to make sure that you want to stop and make sure that you're doing everything right. That's the most common sense thing to do. To be most effective and to be assured that you are moving, that you are growing, that you are evolving in this season. And in order to do that, you have to um, provision yourself and prep yourself. Basically, do a self check to make sure that you are being the best part of you right now. Like, you are taking bits and pieces of all the things that have been critiqued over the years, and you are creating the best you. And if you're not doing that, then you can't start from scratch, but you need to alter certain things so you can align yourself with the rest of the universe, because that's very important. Um, the next thing with the self check is to expect what you accept, um, what you will accept. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times people get so caught up into um, the worries and the cares of the world that they don't really set this expectation for themselves to say, hey, you know what, I'm willing to part ways with this, I'm willing to deal with this. It's basically those things that you are willing to accept about someone or a situation, and you're willing to live with that. And if you can't, then you're probably not in the right situation, or you're probably not with the right person. To know that you are your most valuable asset. You are. Um, and with saying that, sometimes you have to be very careful of the things that you say. You have to be very specific in speaking to things into existence, because this is a prophetic season where your evidence of all the things that you have been talking about or complaining about, or everything that you have been saying, is actually happening. And it could be kind of weird, but in this season, if you're moving with the right tools, then you're starting to understand everything that you're saying is manifesting. It's not a coincidence. It's something that's really happening. So in this checkpoint season, there's a couple key things that you should probably go by. For one, if you are speaking something positive, mindset is everything. If you're speaking that thing, make sure you believe it. Make sure, because it's going to manifest, good or bad. So make sure that the things that you're speaking into yourself, that you are speaking life and all those fruitful things, and those are the things that are going to keep you well rounded and on track to obtain like the things that you want to do in life and the places you want to go, and you know eventually the people that you want to end up in your circle. um so let me kind of get back on track here. Preparing for the best part. So the cool thing about prepping yourself and provisioning yourself is a lot of times you don't know it, but when you're working on you, you are preparing yourself and you're provisioning yourself for the person that you are meant to be with for the rest of your life. The cool thing about that is, um, with learning yourself, you're actually like you're molding into this person that you want to permanently be. So all those things that you feed into yourself now, those are all those things that are going to happen. So if you're feeding all these fruitful things that I am going to be healthy, I am going to be wealthy, I am going to be rich, I am going to be all these things. And so make sure that all the things that you're speaking into yourself, that you're speaking life into yourself. Um, don't be negative. I think I can keep that really, really, really simple. Because the things that you speak happen, and you have to take everything at cost. And what I mean by that is, when you're taking them at cost, you're accountable for the things that you say. So however they come out is however they're going to happen, however they're going to manifest. And those things are going to eventually like pan out exactly how you said it. So you want to stop and you want to make sure that you are being effective in your speaking, that you are speaking those things to benefit your life, not to hold you up, to stunt your growth. Just be assured that the things that you're speaking into yourself are things that you're willing to deal with, because those are the pills that you have to swallow because you put them out there, right? So take everything you have conquered in your present position, and basically you deserve what comes out of it. So all those positive things that you're speaking into your life, all those things that you work so hard for in that current position or in your current position in life, make sure that you deserve what you get getting out of it. So don't shortchange yourself. A lot of people say, well, you know, when that thing finally arrives, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I deserve all of this. No, you deserve it. You've been through enough hell and high water. You deserve it. It's okay. Take it. Don't say anything. It's better to not say anything at all than to destroy something for yourself. Basically, whatever you accomplish, it's happening right now. So make sure that you're speaking life, and make sure that you're speaking a fruitful life into your future, because you are your own boss. You have power and authority over how your universe is altered and changed. So what that means is your atmosphere is reproducing right now. And this season, this checkpoint season, they're making sure like, hey, all those things that you said you wanted a couple years ago, are you sure you still want those? Because if not, we can give that to someone else. It's okay. Don't worry about it. So you want all those things to happen, but you have to realize that you can't choke yourself out of your future. So you get to talking negative and all those things that will and won't work. You just have to say that they will work. They're going to work. They are working. And when they start working, don't put your mouth on them. That means don't speak anything negative on them at all. Because guess what? You are your own delay. You holding yourself up. Be open to all new levels of your new journey. You never know how God is going to work. So be open to doing things different sometimes. Like your way wasn't working. So if you take a different route, as long as you get there, you don't care the method of how you got there. You just know you got there. And so that's the important part. So don't get caught up in just doing it your way. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was always the correct way. That means that there is a different way. There's always a different approach for it. So if someone or something else or your life is leading you to do it a different way, do it a different way. Your way didn't work. Put your faith into an action plan. Putting your faith into an action plan was more so about writing everything you wanted to do down. A lot of the things that I spoke into my life, I spoke them out and I also wrote them out. So if you are serious about the things that you want to accomplish in life, and I am true prophetic evidence. Prophetic evidence meant that someone spoke something over you, and now it's happening. And now you're living the things that they spoke. So if you take control and you speak those things into your own life, that was prophetic evidence that it happened. Be yourself. Don't worry on things too long, because whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And whatever is meant to happen is meant to happen. As long as you're speaking those positive things into your life, yeah, you're going to go through things, but you still have to speak those positive things into your life because you're responsible for your own happiness. And that responsibility comes along with, are you setting yourself up for your everlasting happiness or not? You can't just work and work and work and work and work and have no objective. If you don't have any objective, that's nobody's fault but yours. And the crazy thing is, people used to always tell me that if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. And that might be okay for y'all, but for me, I feel like I've worked too hard and too long to be mediocre. And so, however it comes, whoever God has to touch me, fine, I'm cool with that. The last thing I want to touch on is people always tell me, they say, Jess, I'm going through this season and I don't know what's going on. The crazy thing about transitioning, and people always talk about wanting to grow and evolve and all these things. And when you're transitioning, life is so different. It's something that you never experienced before. And it does not feel great. It actually feels kind of weird. But, I'm willing to accept that, knowing that I have pushed all of this positive out of my system to say, I'm going to set myself up to live the best and be the best I can in this new life. I don't think you'll come up short. And I know that you won't come up short because your faith is riding on it. And so you may hit speed bumps along the way, but it's supposed to feel weird. It's transition. It hurts. Nothing that's growing is comfortable at all. And that's it. I know it's a little unorthodox, but checkpoint season was necessary. It's time to check in. See if the things that you have spoken to your life, if you're speaking anything into your life, and if you could take away your takeaways from this, will be to reevaluate your life so you can make sure you're setting yourself up for the best you. That would be perfect. I think that's a great starting point. But for the most part, it's checkpoint season. Welcome to checkpoint season. It's time. Wine with Ja, signing off.